What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. One of the most highly requested videos we get. It's Jlew 1v1. Someone asked for it. Jlew versus the shortest D1 hooper ever. That's what it is. So heard a lot about Jlew. A lot of you have recommended him, so excited to watch. I think I've only seen him as a coach, maybe, or commentator in the one-on-one space. So super excited, hearing good things. As per usual, I'm gonna skip ahead, not because I don't care, but it's not my content. So I'm here to break down the basketball. Oh, next chapter, Charlotte. Also, every time I do these videos, if you guys like them, I don't mean like physically, but if you enjoy them and you show us love, liking and subscribing, all that, make sure you show love to the original creators. I want to make sure they're getting their views and we're spreading the wealth. We're not taking the views away, if that makes sense. That's Jlew. I know that for sure. Who is this hooper?
One basketball player ever.
I'll turn it up a little bit. Okay.
And like a lot of people can say that, people are going to talk about his height, this and that. Not a lot of people can walk this earth saying they played D1 ball, and he's got an amazing story.
Good point that Frigg is talking about here. So I think I upset people a lot of times with my tone and with my voice. I get it. I'm a very abrasive personality and abrasive style of coach when it comes to basketball. When it comes to coaching, I don't hold any punches, even if I'm wrong. But I'm also happy to apologize or happy to change my opinions too. I just kind of speak on what I see. He's exactly right with I think we get too carried away with titles. I've talked about this a lot with trainers, but we get too carried away with titles. Just because someone played D1 doesn't make them a good player. Just because someone played D3 doesn't make them a bad player. I've said it multiple times. If you made it to the NBA, that by itself, just making it to the NBA, takes a ton of luck, a ton of skill, a ton of effort, a ton of right place, right time. It takes so much that you assume the player has something. The player that made it to the NBA, they had something that got them to that level. When it comes to Division I, I've seen tons of Division I guys that are horrible, that never went on to do it, played no minutes in D1, whatever. But as we said with Roy, there's a D1 mentality. Like once you do go Division I, you probably come away with it with better IQ, better understanding of hard work. You've been around guys that are D1, so you, just by osmosis, just by being around them, you kind of become a D1 mentality. Now you might not be a D1 athlete, so like this guy here, shortest D1 player ever, probably not a D1 athlete, but you start to develop D1 habits and you can learn a lot from just being around those types of players. So I think there is value in it, but I don't think that should be the first thing you think of. That shouldn't be the first way you categorize a person and their basketball ability. This guy went Division III, so he sucks. This guy went D1, so he's good. It just doesn't work that way. More nuance, more context, and we should always try and keep that in mind. I mean, I got sent this one specifically. I hope it's going to be a good game, but that looks very easy. Tough shot, but like he's going to be able to shoot over him anytime he wants. We've spoken about this, right? Like, I just don't think this gets called. We've got to do a better job in America. I don't even know how it happens. I don't know who has to make the first change, but we got to do a better job of making all of our rules the same from the top down. Because this, depending on what rule book you're playing with, like this is a good play or it's a horrible play. I think like that, if you do that in high school, like they're probably not going to call it. If you do that in college, depending who you are, maybe. If you do that in the NBA, it's probably getting called every time. I think we got to do a better job of bringing the rules the same all the way across the board. One-on-one doesn't matter as much, but I mean, this is just going to be a blowout, right? No offense. My bad. I'd love to know how hard Jlew is playing. I've never seen him play before, so I don't know. But if you're letting a guy drive full speed left, jump stop, get 2 feet in the key. All right. Okay, I get it. I'll eat my words again. And one. Guys, he's literally doing the thing, right? He's going full speed left, getting to his spots. This is how you deal with taller defenders too. You guys asked this a bunch. How do I score over taller defenders? One-on-one is really tough if the other player is stronger, faster, quicker, taller. It's just hard. So don't feel like you're on your own. But then if they are, you have to do all these things, right? You have to be quick with your first step. But right here, he gets the bump. He could shoot this. Like, I think we all missed. This is what a lot of guys do that we watch, right? They just shoot this shot when it's highly contested. But he bumps him and then gets to the spot where he can finish on either side. He can finish in 3 spots right now. And he does. He continues to go to the other side. If he went up like everyone else that we watch play one-on-one, that gets blocked. So you think like, oh, there's nothing for me to do because they're taller, faster, stronger. But it's like, no, you have to do more. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. If you're not physically outmatching your opponent, you just have to do more. That's the way it is. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get to those spots on the floor. Be relentless with getting to those spots, because if you don't, you're not scoring. Get to that spot. Highest percentage shot in basketball. Now you got options. He bumped him as well to create that little bit of space. Nice. And this needs to be, again, you watch all those trainers online and it's like, you need to be able to do up and unders. You need all this extra spin. I mean, look at the height difference here. You don't need all that, because let's say a help defender came over. That's what people are practicing for. A help defender comes over. Now you're trying to score on these 2 people. Doesn't even matter who you are. That's probably just not a good shot finishing on 2 people. Pause. Scoring on 2 people. So you want to get 2 feet in the key and then be able to kick out to where the help came from, or drop it down to the dunker spot. But that's still the highest percentage shot in basketball. That's a very simple layup. You don't need to practice all this extra stuff. You need to be able to do a normal layup, full speed. You need to be able to do full speed reverse layup with either hand. You need to be able to handle the bumps. Very simple. Shooter. He had him. Still almost made it. He actually had him. Once he lifted up, that's the outside foot we talk about. He's got very good fundamentals. This ended up being way better than I thought it'd be. Once you get someone, see how he's like stepping forward with his foot instead of stepping backwards? He can't afford to not go forward. Bars. He can't afford not to. So he's taking that big step going forward, pushing off the back foot. This is what I advocate everyone does if you get your defender out of position. Still doesn't get around, but he gets the bump here, so he could push off and create some space, or he could like change his angle. But instead he does push off, but he just goes sideways. Remember I talked about a few videos ago, doing a side step or doing a step back only makes the defense have to take 1 step. But if you can go at this angle, if you can go diagonally, it makes them take 1 step forward and 1 step sideways. Really hard to close out. I think it was Eugene who was doing that. And even though Scoob was playing really good defense, he just couldn't get there because the angle he was taking. He still gets a look. Like that's a tough shot, but that's probably as good of a shot as he was going to get, right? This is very good. Thank you for sending this through. Oh, also, I had a conversation with one of you yesterday. You know who you are. And you were just asking, like, this guy blocked me, or why'd that happen? And I was like, you have to just walk into the gym and already just have a mentality of, I'm going to play hard. I'm going to play harder than anyone else. I'm going to be more physical than anyone else. I'm going to assert my dominance straight away. What you'll notice is most other people will back off. They don't want to deal with that. They just want to come in and chill, start feeling good, and then they'll go to work. Never let them get to that point of going to work. So right now, I need to know this guy's name just out of respect, but he's pressuring. He's going full speed to the basket. Like, he's already come in with a mentality of, I have to do this. Why? Well, he's like 5'5" or shorter. He's short. He has to. He can't afford to just come in here and play half-assed. Now, there's guys that play like this, but they're 6'3", they're 6'5", they're 6'9". Those are the guys that are elite in the NBA. Like, that mentality can only get you so far, but it can get you very far. It keeps him outside the elbow, just barely, but Jlew does a good job spinning back, but then he puts the ball right in front of the defender. This is a great example of Drew Hanlon talking to Zach LaVine the other day about keeping the ball out. And I use an example when I do basketball camps. I always try to show kids, like, I'll stand under the basket and I'll post them up. Not really, but just as an example, I'll just turn to them and I'll be like, can you block this? And, little kids will grab it all the time. And I'm like, okay, that's why, even if I'm getting blocked by you, that's why it's important we got to practice these outside hand finishes. This is the prime example here. I don't know if that's a foul, and that's on Jlew. Oh, travel. Called a travel. Either way. We're going the other way. Got the look.
As you guys can see, we partnered with Kicks Crew to offer our fans an exclusive 10% off discount when you use code TNC10 and you place your first order.
This is one of my favorite moves, the T-Mac hesitation pull up.
As you guys can see, we partnered with Kicks Crew to offer our fans
basically just like you can do it a couple ways. He's setting it up more with like a crossover, but again, this is outside foot stuff we talk about. He's just exploding off the back foot. Could go full speed left. If the defender bites on it, you can cross off that and go full speed right. But you also have act like you're going full speed and just pull up into your jump shot, which he does here. And that's what creates that little bit of space. The defender's momentum is going backwards. He's playing the drive. Then you pull up. Super dangerous if you're effective with it and if you got a good jump shot. I think getting to the elbow, like, still far more efficient. Doing it from out here, you're settling for long twos, but if you can put a little bit more pressure on, get a little bit closer, super deadly, super tough to guard.
10% off discount when you use code TNC10 and you place your first order.
I mean, he had him on, I think he just had him on the sweep through right here. Like, he can easily get outside his foot, shoulders past his hips, shoulders past his shoulder if he just continues with his sweep through. But instead he goes this direction and doesn't really gain any ground. Still, was that 2 dribbles? He's still outside the 3-point line. Takes another dribble and only gets to the elbow. So that's why I think covering ground is one of the most important things with your dribbles. Forced into a tough shot again. I don't think that's a foul. I mean, I didn't see the arms though, so I'll never question Mr. Edge Up, ever. That's tough. You kind of just gamble here. I do this like mind games. There's some people that are really weak-minded when you play against them. Young kids, let's say young kids, but let's say it's like a younger player that's a high schooler. If I'm playing one-on-one against a high schooler, like I'm training them, so we'll play some one-on-one at the end. I'll usually just walk. I'll just go stand at the free throw line and turn around. I'll just face the basket and I'll just turn around, and they'll hesitate and they're like, wait, I don't know what to do. Should I shoot it or should I whatever? You kind of can get into their head that way. And then, you know, they'll do the same to me and I can hit 4, 5, 6 in a row, just win the game without dribbling. And to show them, like, okay, for one, there's a difference. You can't play defense like that. But two, like, you should never let anyone guard you that way. Jlew does a good job of just like, all right, hand down, I'm shooting. But there's a lot of players, I promise you, there's so many players you can get into their heads. You see it in the NBA as well. Guys will just walk away. They'll put their hand down and walk away when someone's at the three-point line. James Harden does it a lot. Kind of because he's lazy, but also he's pretty smart. He knows, like, if there's a guy out there that's a low percentage shooter, he'll just walk the other way. He does this a lot and lets them shoot it, and that gets into a lot of people's heads. I feel like this oddly enough is kind of like the first step to being a good one-on-one player. If you can shoot an open shot, like if they're forcing you to shoot and you can consistently knock those down, now they actually have to guard you. As a defender, if the guy you're guarding can't shoot it and you can just walk away, you can serve a lot of energy. You can just never jump for shot fakes. It just helps you out a ton too. This is like 1-on-1, 101. It's like the basics to 101. There are fouls, or that was a foul, but don't let him shoot, but live. It's good advice. This is Floor Sweeper Cam. Floor Sweeper Cam. I just reacted to a video of his. He's got game. He's upgraded from a floor sweeper to a certified hooper. He's got game. I still can't see his body though. Just a floating head.
You, on the other hand, we gotta talk. Shortest player to ever go D1. My boy Tough. He like 5'2".
Oh, I was wondering how tall he was, because didn't Akil Carr? Oh no, he went straight to overseas, didn't he? I think he was like 5'5" or something.
Really like 4'11". They gave him a couple inches.
Really like 4'11".
But he definitely is one of the toughest ones out here. That's why I gave him against Jlew. Let's see what he gonna do. Let's see.
Oh, hey, got off a good shot. I think he had him on the pump fake though. Yeah, he had him on the pump fake. Could have faked him and went up, but still, look, protects the ball, still gets a clean look. Man, this is, for all of you small guards out there complaining about everyone's taller, faster, look at this. Like, watch this video. This is, unfortunately, these are the layups you have to get good at. Unfortunately, those are the drives you have to be able to make. Bump somebody and then play both sides of the glass. But if you want to be successful, like, it's going to be harder for you, but not impossible. You're going to have to pressure up like this. You're going to have to play physical. You're going to have to win the bump and hope that they miss some shots. That wasn't a tough shot, but it wasn't the highest percentage shot in basketball. You're going to have to push him outside the elbow. You're going to have to push him outside the block. He didn't let him get 2 feet in the key. And that shot is way different than if he's shooting that shot here. Those little things, like, he's doing what he's supposed to do to give himself a chance. Imagine he was 6'5". He's been watching the videos. That's what it is. Man, so deceptive. Gets here now you have the advantage. You can jump into him, get the foul, you can play right, you can play left. Straight line drive. Oh, knock him down. Same thing. He's just not shot faking. That's the only thing he hasn't done yet. Play off 2 feet. He had him. Play off 2. Shot fake. That was smart by Jlew. I'll give it to him. That was smart. This is something that you can use defensively too. So he tried to he was trying to bump him, and Jlew like avoided the bump. So I've talked about this a few videos ago. If someone's stronger than you, you can either just muscle up and bump them before they get on balance to bump you. Obviously they'll win that, or you can just avoid it. You can pull out the chair basically. And you can see right here, I'll show the other angle actually, because it was, you could definitely see it there. Nope, next angle. So right here, look, instead of allowing him to bump and get into his chest, Jlew actually avoids the bump, and that's what makes him go off balance and not be able to go off 2 feet. I think he's expecting the bump, and Jlew just kept moving backwards. And so he came to this weird 1-2 instead of like a 2-foot hop, being able to play off 2. And you could see it in his face. He kind of just was like, I got to go up. Yeah, that was good. It's weird because that's typically what smaller players do. So the fact that Jlew is playing like this, he's probably used to playing against like some pretty strong players or bigger players. And you could tell by his frame, like he's not weak, but you could tell he probably plays against some guys that are bulldogs that just want to lower their shoulder the whole time. That's kind of how you have to play them, be crafty. I like his mid-range pull-up game. This was what I did my whole career. I loved it. Again, the only thing is just efficiency. He's taking 3 dribbles to get to this spot, which is whatever. It's not a big deal, but you just don't have an option there if they play your shot. But 1 dribble to go sideways, so kind of a push dribble, doesn't do anything with this between the legs. He's done it twice. So I think if he wanted to improve his game, when he does the push dribble, you also have to cover distance with the next dribble. A lot of people do this thing I call a comfort dribble, right? So if you're practicing by yourself, or if you're practicing with a partner, whatever, if they throw you the ball and it's not exactly the catch you wanted, doing a comfort dribble to like get set, to me that's a waste of a dribble. It's a waste of movement. Same thing when you're working on ball handling drills. If let's say you're going simultaneous, you lose one, people will gather the balls and then they'll get like back on pace and then they'll get into their drill. Or if you're doing alternate, they'll lose one, grab it, and then they'll get back on pace. Those comfort dribbles, like they're just habits, right? Just cut them out. If you can start playing without comfort dribbles or reset dribbles, you're a lot more efficient. And again, it's the difference between getting there in 3 dribbles and getting there in 2 dribbles. In a game of 5-on-5, that could be the difference between a easy layup or help side defender coming over. So once you do your float dribble, get to your spot, that between the legs should carry you to the elbow or all the way back to where you were with your initial float dribble. Like you need to cover space both times. He covers space, doesn't have anything, so he's like, okay, dribble between the legs to like think what I want to do next. Then he goes with his 3rd dribble. So it's like he's taking a dribble to think, but you've got to imagine if there's help defense out here, they're getting to think too. That little pause you're doing, they get to think half a second longer about how they want to help. Also, your defender here gets to reset. Like, okay, he did this dribble. Okay, now between the legs, now I get to guess what he's going to do next. You're like prepping them like, hey, I've got 1 dribble left and I'm going to make this move. So we'll watch it from the top. Cover space, doesn't cover space, doesn't cover space. And honestly, if he were just up on that shot, like Jlew can't go anywhere. He's been caught twice like that now, not going far enough. And again, it's hard to tell. I don't know if he's underestimating him because he's shorter and he thinks it's going to be an easy win. So maybe he's not playing hard. Got to watch more of both of these guys. Is it 4 dribbles? I thought it was 3. Okay. Honestly, it's good defense. This is good defense. It's just one of those. It's one of those things you guessed wrong, and because he's undersized, like he has to guess sometimes. And he's there. He's on balance, even though Jlew like catches this dribble and then wraps it behind the back really quick. This isn't a move. So I know there's a lot of kids out there that are going to go practice this move now. It's not a move. It's ball manipulation. It's just he's reacting. He saw that he reached, and he just wraps and goes. This is the part that Nas Core struggles with a little bit. It's the part that trying to remember who it was. Scoob, I think, struggles with this a little bit, and it's really hard to do. Once you go between the legs or behind the back, or you make a dribble, how quickly can you get the ball in your hand and get it out to the next spot? And he does that like instantly. This is, I mean, it's good defense. It's just good offense, better offense. Because he reads it, gets back on balance. Most guys probably turn this over, or they just pick it up. Ooh, left him, got around him. Nice. Yeah, that's good basketball. Honestly, when people talk about being shifty, like, that's kind of shifty, right? Like when someone reaches and then you can just react and go. Oh, and they called the foul.
With investors like Damian Lillard, Kyrie,
go check out. I don't know if this is still going on, but go check out their thing.
We now know that it's of course the best brands, not TNC 10, will only be available.
Good look. Even the speed that he pivots here is pretty good. When we talk about pace and all that, pace, playing at different pace, playing at different heights, I mean, just doing that is what gets him open, because it kind of looks like he wants to drive, so he backs up just a little. I mean, you probably can do more here to make that move more effective, and also he's probably giving Jlew that shot a little bit, so take it with a grain of salt. But the speed at which you pivot and get to your spot, like, sometimes that just throws guys off. It freezes them, like deer in the headlights. Like, if you can just drop your shoulders quick, it's way different than pivoting, getting on balance, right? If you can just drop your shoulders quick, because then you can drop your shoulders quick and shoot. You kind of put them into like a 50-50 where they have to guess what's happening. He refuses to shot fake, but he's playing both sides of the basket. That's nice. Straight line drive. Man, got to be able to shoot. Yeah, it feels like Jlew either doesn't have a plan or he's just trying to be saucy. It's hard to tell sometimes. Who was doing this the other day when we watched him? Cam? I'm pretty sure it was Cam. He was winning by quite a bit. He was just trying his last bucket. He was just trying to like sauce it up, so he just kept doing weird stuff. But I think it's always tough to know. You got to watch a few games to get into someone's habits. Oh, Jlew did the same thing again. Hey, he's adjusting. Jlew did the same thing again, where he jumped out of the way, so he's like avoiding the bump. He's pretty quick on his feet, but he landed on two this time. He was ready for it. and he just goes up straight away. So while Jlew's going backwards, he lands on 2 and springs up. There's a little bit of chess going on here. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. He did the dev. He did the dev in the lab. Oh yeah, you guys have been asking for that Dev and Kyrie video. I think I lost it. I don't know where it got lost, somewhere in the uploads. I double uploaded one video, so I'll have to try and see if I can find it. That's why it hasn't come up. But Dev does this a lot with his feet, like just feet being in weird positions and pulls up. As an undersized player, like in one-on-one or in tough scoring positions, like shot clock winding down, and you haven't dribbled, like you got to be able to do that. You don't need to practice it, but it's something you need to be able to do once you've mastered the other fundamentals, or if you're a scorer, if you're the guy on your team. Something to think about adding. He does that outside foot drive every time, like we talk about, which is good. Look, just like he gets his shoulders low, but Jlew's just far enough where it's just like you haven't gained any ground. If he had like a really strong dribble this direction and then a really strong like between the legs here, he could get to another angle. Being this size and being at this, being undersized against the player you're going against, it's really tough to do. And it's going to take like 100% of your energy every single play, but that's just the only other option he really has. It's our goat over there, Frigga. Again, he's making it as tough as he can, really. Pull up then. He did it again. Did that awkward footed thing again. Even these little hesitations and twitches. We saw this with the Jlew Hanlon video, right? Like he's on balance here, and then he acts like he's going to step further. And so look exactly what Jlew does. He starts stepping backwards too, in sync with his foot, and then instead of going, he just pulls up. So look, Jlew's momentum is going backwards. Clean look. So even though you're not fully on balance, still a clean look. Whereas if you get on balance, there's probably better defense there. So you got to kind of weigh up what's more important in that moment, being on balance or getting a clean look. The taller you are, like KD, he can really take his time and get on balance because he's 7'12". But most players, you gotta weigh that up. Sometimes you got to shoot a little bit off balance. Sometimes if you make a good move, you practice your moves enough, you should be able to get into your normal shot. Same problem, right? So I want to give Jlew the benefit of the doubt because that move he made earlier it's a pretty elite thing, but some people are elite in some skills and then not good in others. And I'm wondering if that's the definition of Jlew right now. So he's taken, let's see, 1, 2, 3 dribbles and only got to here. And he went from the top of the key to the far right wing. Guys that play like this and don't play fully efficiently, it's hard for me to believe that they're going to have a different one-on-one matchup and then all of a sudden be efficient. I think there's, we saw it with Eugene and Scoob, right? And that was kind of the difference between them. Athleticism-wise, they're pretty even. Strength-wise, pretty even. Like even probably shooting ability, ball handling ability, like the ability and the skill set and on paper, they're probably very similar. The difference in their game was just the game plan. And you can tell Eugene is probably playing 90%, 95% of his basketball, organized basketball, high-level organized basketball. 90% of Scoob's basketball is probably around other one-on-one guys or pickup or a different style, right? Sometimes that's the difference in the players. And you're looking at these two right now, and that's kind of the difference. As I said, with a D1, just because you went D1 doesn't mean you're good. But you probably have some D1 habits, and he's got some D1 habits. Keep it simple, like force them into tough spots, whatever. Jlew, he just hoops. So it's like, hey, if you're going to reach, I might hit you with one of the coolest, sickest crossovers you've ever seen. But if you don't reach, I might take 3 dribbles and not go anywhere. It's kind of just like a toss of a coin. We haven't seen a player yet that can turn it off and turn it on. Well, I haven't seen a player yet, sorry. That's like really efficient sometimes and then not efficient others. I thought this was going to be a blowout. Ooh, I like that sweater. She said, what did I say? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't watch the intro. Kids, keep your game simple. Hey, keep it simple. This is probably the toughest shot we've seen him take. When I say tough, I mean like on paper tough. Like just didn't get all the way to the spot. But because he was trying to get to the spot, Jlew had to fully get in front of him. And he's a little bit off balance. I'd say Jlew is like really athletic and it has really good footwork, like naturally good footwork. But gets the bump, which creates the space. And you can even see his foot slide there. That little bump. And so this is where, again, Scoob and Eugene, the little bit of differences. The natural footwork can only get you so far. But being fundamentally sound, like you don't want to get your hips, you don't want to be in this position against someone else that has good footwork. Just watch this little slip just because he got the push. And it creates just enough space. Man, that's beautiful basketball. Beautiful basketball. Yeah, timeout, same. He's doing the same thing every time. Those are the hardest guys to guard. Like, and what moves has he used? Full speed left, full speed right. Again, we're gonna get some merch. It's gonna be some full speed left, full speed right. I just got to come up with a cool design. Man, it's hard to hear. There's too many people talking. I like the ones where it's like one coach talking. We can kind of hear what they're saying. Did they call a foul? They called a foul. So I don't think it's a foul. This is exactly what I do. The way Jlew plays defense, I had a lot of friends that, not a lot that could play defense like this, but they were just naturally like athletic, naturally like pretty good footwork, not fundamental footwork, but just naturally good, right? And they were quick, just from, I don't know, running around all the time, doing gymnastics, whatever. I don't know. Just they gained it from somewhere else, football, something else. But look at the way he crosses his feet. He constantly gets his shoulders like in front of his frame while he's defending. Like to me, and for all you out there that are saying like cross your feet on defense, it's like this is what happens when you're mid cross and you get the bump, like, you're going to fall. I don't think that's a foul. But at the same time, yes, you need to turn and run at times, but don't, like, that's what I talk about trainers. Don't tell kids to cross their feet to play defense. Don't tell kids never to cross their feet. It's just whatever's the quickest getting you there, right? But this is one of the risks you run whenever you're crossing your feet as like your default or your go-to. I don't think that's a foul. It's just not a very strong stance. I might put up a couple clips of guys like guarding me doing the same thing, and I would just give the nudge, give the push, and they didn't get called fouls in FIBA. That's a regular play. He's right. I don't think that's a foul. Come on, Jlew, you need these. Oh, this is a master class in how to score when you're the smaller player. Again, Jlew could be doing more here physically to make it tough. You can't, like, as a coach, I would be really frustrated with this defense, because the one thing you can't give up against good players is a straight line drive. And literally every time he drives, it's a straight line drive. He's getting straight to the basket. If you can't force someone to go one dribble sideways, it's really hard to play at a high level. You have help in games, but you don't have help when someone's just going straight by you. Like, this would be a huge defensive liability. But if you can just force one dribble sideways, just one, even if they blow by you on the next dribble, it's one more step for your help defense to set up and get over there. Plus, it's one dribble towards the gap defender as well. But yeah, straight line drives, like, you can't. And a lot of that, I think one of you was asking this question, a lot of it is because when you're forcing someone a direction, you shouldn't be like this. You shouldn't be like this forcing them. You should just be staggered stance and into their hip to where they can't go this way, right? And they can only go one direction. But once they go that way, it still needs to be sideways, not straight. Jlew is kind of just turned almost completely sideways. His shoulders can already see the backboard. That's really hard. Again, look how much he's turned. If he bumped into him again, he'd fall again. Oh, that's so good, because he's got those two different spots to score from. Soft off the glass. Shot looks really tough. Still the highest percentage shot in basketball. Just a little bit of defense there now. So instead of making it 95% of the time, the defense probably drops it to like an 85. Yeah, he probably makes that 8 out of 10 times. This is for game. I gotta look him up. I need to call him by name. All right, I'm going to talk about biggest pet peeve for me. This guy right here. Do you know how hard it is to put those nets on, especially if it's the one that has like the wire that runs all the way through? It might not be these rings, but the ones in Australia, I always had to replace the nets when they'd get messed up, and we'd lower the goals for the younger kids to play, and then the kids would come in and dunk and hang on the nets and constantly be breaking them. I have to take the net, I have to pull the wire out, take the net down, put the next net on, weave the wire through, standing on the ladder, putting it through. It'd probably take me 20-30 minutes to put each net. So I used to see this stuff in the gym. It used to piss me off. Anyways, back to basketball. Jlew hasn't gotten inside the elbows or inside the block once. He hasn't won any of these possessions. He's hit shots over the top, but he hasn't gotten around. So he's done a very good job of just like control what you can control. Don't let him get into those high percentage shots. Is he a gamer? Oh, he had him. Why does this move work? Why does that work? One, because Jlew loves to just turn his shoulders. He loves doing a crossover step on defense every time. I don't know why. Also, that's a good point, right? We teach outside step on defense. That first step does need to be an outside step. Your first step isn't a crossover step on defense. Why do we always teach that on offense? Why do we teach crossover step on offense? It's the same principle, right? Biomechanically, it's the same thing. Anyways, that works because he's been going full speed left the whole time. And now, one time, he's like, hey, what if I jab? And on my jab, I do a throwdown dribble. So I'm pretty sure that's what he did. I call this a throwdown dribble. Okay, no, he just did the. So this is the difference between America and FIBA. This probably gets called for a travel. This probably gets called for a travel in FIBA. But what we teach kids is when you do your jab, throw the ball down this direction, and then you kind of catch up to it. So it's a throwdown dribble. What we do in America is we jab, and then we do our crossover step, and then we throw the ball down afterwards, if that makes sense. So our feet are moving that whole time. That's why in FIBA, you can't lift up your pivot foot before you go. Technically in America, you can't either, but they never call it. So you can do a jab and then cross. So you throw the ball down at the same time. So I call that a throwdown dribble. Again, I might put up a clip and just show like how you can use that. But it still works. Let's see if he travels here. Okay, gets him leaning a little bit. He's really good with this neutral kind of footsies game we call. Boom, jab. Yeah, so that's technically a travel. It's probably not going to get called in America. Again, doing a step back and being on balance is really tough. Clean look. Just misses.
My God. Hey, this place is going to erupt if he ends it. Jlew, come back.
Frig already knows Jlew does not want this loss. Man, he can't get inside those elbows and boxes. That's what the mid-range and the three will help you open up though, but needs it. All right. Needs it. The haircut. Still hasn't got a haircut. Oh, dang. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could see it too. Oh, he hyperextended his knee. We're not going to rewatch it. Yeah, he hyperextended his knee. Damn. No, I said we're not going to watch it. And they're like, you know what? Let's slow it down. You know when little kids like, Daddy, watch this, that jump off the fireplace and then they like their neck land on their neck and then they scorpion so their feet come over and hit them in the back of the neck, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I think this kid I think this kid is done for. I think he's paralyzed for life. And then they just get back up and then sprint outside and start playing volleyball or something. That's Jlew. What? What just happened? He hyperextended his knee. That looked bad.
So Jlew is just gonna go for it, huh?
If I did that, my whole lower body would have just disintegrated. As soon as my knee turned that way, yeah, my lower body would have just been Thanos. Oh, he got the shot he wanted. Do you think if Jlew loses, he's gonna be like, it's because I was injured though?
Lock in, lock in.
Because that's what I would do. Like, yeah, I lost, but I was hurt. I was injured. What do you expect me to do? Yeah, he finally got around him. What do you do? That's what we said he should have done the first time, right? Just go. And this is the best move Jlew has made all day. I know he's got a couple highlights. This is the best move he's done all day. What has he done? Yeah, he's gone full speed right. 2 dribbles, shoulders to the backboard. Missed. Oh, he gets the ball back? Like I said, sometimes that gets called. Most of the times not. He had him again. Good move. He's doing the right thing. Oh, what is happening? That was the jab cross kind of throwdown we talk about. Oh, he lost him again. He almost hyperextended his knee again. Yeah, this is so Jlew's biggest problem is just the way it's almost like the way his body is built. It's almost the way he's developed over the years has caused him to play defense in this way, that I could actually see him having a lot of success against certain players or unorthodox players or just out-athleting people. The problem is when you play against someone really fundamental, they can just use all that against you. You have to be on balance. You have to be in a strong stance all the time because now the body bump is available. Now they can change direction. There's so many things you have to prepare for that you get your shoulders in front of your feet. Like you can't change direction. That's what he keeps getting caught with, but also very good job offensively. He does this on the catch. Again, the little shuffles here, technically he's got the ball in his hands, but if you time it close, again, this is a very American thing, time it close, you can kind of catch and get into your gather. And now this would be considered his gather. I think he actually does move it a bit on this cross, jab cross. Barely, but that's the jab throwdown dribble we just talked about, right? So again, Jlew fully committed to turning to his right. Now watch this. Now he has to jump and twist and turn to fully defend left. Now it's like fully defend left. And that's where that little slip happens. Instead, you just want to shade a particular direction and just be like, I'm not going to completely turn and twist my body. Once you do that, you're kind of done. There's not much you can do. Man, and that's the angles, right? Boom, boom, boom. The angles we talk about. Damn, my bad. Sometimes they edit and it's hard. Ooh, deep. Jlew with the comeback.
As you guys know, we're partnered with Kicks Crew for all of this mini-series in Charlotte, and we have an exclusive 10% off discount when you use code TNC10 and you place your first order.
Oh, he's settling. He did it again. Like, just gone. He's gone at this point. He looks like a cornerback, right? Running backwards. Looks like a cornerback. I wonder if he played football. Yeah. Just honestly, this turned out way better than I thought it was going to be. I definitely underestimated him. That was completely on me. But as we said in the beginning, he's got a D1 mentality. Like, it was just, he played very, very basic, very generic, very fundamental. And if you're that height, like, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice but to play like the right way. You can add stuff on top, that's fine, but you can't start there. You got to have the fundamentals. If you can do the fundamentals, if you can go full speed right, now your jab to the right works. If you can go full speed left, your jab to the left works. Realize he didn't start using his step backs until the end of the game when Jlew was overplaying the drives, right? Like, don't start the game with step backs. Don't start the game with your with those real niche moves. Don't start the game there. Start the game like trying to establish a rhythm, get away with what you can get away with, and then you can layer those things on top. Man, that was excellent. That was really good. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for recommending that one. And I'm going to watch a few more videos and get those out for you guys. So let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.